Hello, this is Derek Christensen. I am from Pleasant Grove, Utah. This presentation is on the water contamination subject of lead. This is for the course Environmental Science 546, Drinking Water and Human Health from the University of Idaho. I will be discussing what lead is, the effects that lead has on human health, the regulations that are set for lead from the Environmental Protection Agency and the Safe Drinking Water Act, how lead gets into our drinking water, how to protect ourselves from lead contamination and lead exposure. I will then discuss current issues with lead contamination in the United States. Lead is a natural occurring element found in the Earth's crust in small amounts. Lead is a chemical element in the carbon group and is element number 82 in the periodic table with the symbol Pb. Lead is a soft, malleable, and heavy post-transition metal. It has been used by humans for a long time. Lead can be very beneficial for human use, but it is a very toxic metal to humans and animals when they are exposed to it. Lead can be found in soil, water, air, and even in our homes. Lead was used for gasoline, as leaded gasoline. Lead was used in many industrial facilities, lead-based paint, lead smelters, mining sites, and old plumbing systems. Homes that were built before 1986 have a high chance of having lead piping systems. Today it is common to find lead in lead acid batteries, ammunition, building and construction, radiation shields, and soldering. Effects on human health. So symptoms of lead exposure include headaches, irritability, reduced sensations, aggressive behavior, difficulty sleeping, abdominal pain, poor appetite, constipation, anemia, tooth decay, muscle weakness, skin rashes, and blurred vision. So long-term effects for children. What may not affect an adult with low levels of lead exposure can have an effect on children. Children and infants are vulnerable to lead because even at low exposure levels, it can cause physical and behavioral effects. Lead can cause damage to the nervous system of children, learning problems, slowed growth, hearing problems, and anemia also can result in low levels of lead exposure. In rare cases, lead can cause children to have seizures, comas, and even death. Long-term effects for adults. Common health effects from lead exposure to adults include decreased kidney function, reproductive problems, both in men and women, and cardiovascular problems such as high blood pressure. For pregnant women, lead can reduce growth of the fetus, which can cause premature birth of babies and reduce the birth weight of babies. Mothers who are breastfeeding can transfer lead to their babies through breast milk if the mothers are exposed to lead from their drinking water. So regulations of lead in drinking water. The Environmental Protection Agency has set a maximum contaminant level goal to be 0.0 milligrams per liter. This goal is not enforced, but the goal is 0 because lead is a very toxic metal and can be harmful to humans even if exposed at low levels. The maximum contaminant level set by the Environmental Protection Agency, which is enforced, is at a level of 0.015 milligrams per liter, which is an action level where water systems must do whatever they can do to reduce the chances of lead contamination. The lead and copper rule is where if more than 10% of drinking water samples exceed the lead action level of 0.015 milligrams per liter, then the water system is required to take actions. These actions may include taking steps to improve corrosion, control treatments, replacing lead service lines. The Safe Drinking Water Act reduced the maximum allowable lead content to be a weighted average of 0.25% across wetted surfaces of pipes, pipe fittings, plumbing fittings, and fixtures, and 0.2% for solder and flux. How lead contaminates drinking water. The most common ways that lead gets into our drinking water is caused by corrosion from old piping systems in older homes and buildings. Like I said earlier, homes that were built before 1986 have a higher chance of having lead piping systems. Fixtures with lead solder can contribute to lead contamination. pH levels and temperature of water, especially with hot water, helps lead to corrode and be carried through the pipes and fixtures to outside of our faucets. Alright, so protection, how to protect ourselves from lead and lead in our drinking water. If you suspect lead to be in your drinking water and want to find out if lead is in your water, the best way to tell if harmful lead quantities is present in the drinking water is to get it tested. You cannot see, smell, or taste lead when it is dissolved in water. Certified laboratories are available in your state or local drinking water authority, and they can test your drinking water for lead. Certain ways that you can protect yourself from lead include flushing your pipes before drinking, only use cold water for eating and drinking, use water filters or treatment devices that use treatment methods for removing lead such as reverse osmosis, distillation, and carbon filters. A possibly expensive but well worth solution to reducing lead contamination is replacing lead piping systems. So, current issues recently. Current issue dealing with lead as a water contaminant is the recent and ongoing issue in Flint, Michigan, and their water crisis. When the city of Flint changed its water source from treated water from Detroit Water and Sewerage Department to water from the Flint River, where officials failed to apply corrosion inhibitors, the corrosive Flint River water caused lead from old piping systems to leach into the water supply. And extremely high levels of lead were found in the water, and thousands of people, and especially children, had been exposed to high levels of lead. The city declared to be in a state of emergency on January 5th, 2016. Many officials, government workers, and agencies have been blamed, and some people are being charged with crimes because of the mishandling of the water crisis issue. Another issue that is happening right now is in Newark, New Jersey, where older school buildings have been tested and found to have higher than the enforced standard amount of 0.015 milligrams per liter in the drinking water. To be exact, 30 schools have high levels of lead in their drinking water, and these schools had to ban water and shut off all water sources in the buildings. Many tests are still needed, including thousands of voluntarily blood tests from students to see how much lead they have been exposed to. The students are very concerned, and their families, and they're willing to volunteer to get tested. All right, and these are my references. These are good sources to learn more about lead as a water contaminant. I hope you enjoyed the presentation and found it to be beneficial. Thank you for watching.